A convicted cop killer seeks appeal. Plus, an armed teen opens fire outside of a Delaware school, and an international search yields the Delaware Symphony Orchestra finalist. Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Making headlines today, a 42-year-old Wilmington man faces decades behind bars after his conviction on several felonies, including 3 counts of attempted murder. Attorney General Kathy Jennings said Bacher Dillard was convicted on multiple charges earlier this month in connection with an April 2022 shooting incident in which Dillard and 2 associates fired more than 15 rounds into a parked car occupied by 3 people. In January, Dillard was convicted in a separate trial on 3 counts of drug dealing, possession of a firearm by a person prohibited, and possession of drug paraphernalia, following the discovery of a cache of weapons, drugs, and distribution materials. He was taken into custody after a 9-month manhunt. He was taken into custody after the execution of a search warrant by members of the Wilmington Police Department, the FBI, and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives after he attempted to evade arrest and dispose of evidence. Dillard is eligible to be sentenced as a habitual offender and faces a minimum mandatory sentence of 89 years. Further south, shots were fired in the parking lot of Sussex Central High School in Georgetown Tuesday night during a basketball game against Cape Henlopen High School. Police on duty at the game were alerted to gunshots outside the school on Patriots Way just before 9 p.m. That was according to a Delaware State Police news release. Multiple shell casings were fired in the parking lot, but there were no reported injuries. Surveillance footage identified a 15-year-old Sussex Central student as the suspect. He later turned himself in with his parents. The student was charged with 5 felonies and committed to the Stevenson House Detention Center on an $82,000 secured bond. Sussex Central parents received a message from the school saying the gunfire damaged the main door as well as a window across the street. And in other news, a 3-car crash involving a school bus sent 4 adults to the hospital, but no children were hurt. The wreck happened just before 6:30 Wednesday morning at the intersection of Limestone Road and Kirkwood Highway. A man in a work van was briefly trapped in the wreckage. A 64-year-old man was treated by paramedics and taken to Christiana Hospital in serious condition with internal injuries. Another 64-year-old man and 2 other women, both in their 30s, suffered less serious injuries. The intersection was shut down for more than an hour this morning while the crash was investigated. And the attorney representing Randon Wilkerson, convicted in the 2021 killing of Delmar Police Corporal Keith Heacook, has filed an appeal. Wilkerson, now 33 years old, received a double life sentence last year after being found guilty of murder and 15 other charges stemming from the events on April 25, 2021. According to court documents, Wilkerson, after a night of drinking and drug use, assaulted Heacook when the officer responded to a 911 call from one of Wilkerson's roommates. State prosecutors described a brutal attack where Wilkerson knocked Heacook unconscious and stomping on his head. Heacook later died in the hospital. Waiving a jury trial, Wilkerson was found guilty on multiple charges by a Superior Court judge last year, resulting in 2 life sentences. Wilkerson's attorney filed the appeal, citing a possible involuntary intoxication defense, which had caused trial delays. While court documents do not elaborate on the appeal's basis, Wilkerson claims he mistook methamphetamine for bath salts, leading to involuntary intoxication. State prosecutors rejected this assertion, saying that it would not absolve Wilkerson of his responsibility of his actions. The appeal process is ongoing, with legal experts closely monitoring the case. And police have charged a Maryland man with dealing cocaine in downtown Newark. The investigation began in October when the Newark Police Department learned that 40-year-old Michael Gordon Summers of Elkton was selling drugs on Main Street. Officers surveilled the man and saw him dealing numerous drug transactions. On Friday, officers conducted a traffic stop on the man's vehicle and arrested him. Inside the vehicle, police found 23 grams of cocaine and materials used to package drugs for sale. Summers was charged with possession of cocaine with intent to deliver, drug dealing, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was released on his own recognizance. And in other news, Delaware Governor John Carney will deliver his State of the State address on Tuesday, March 5th at 2 p.m. from the House of Representatives chamber in Legislative Hall. The Delaware General Assembly will convene in a joint session beginning at 1:45 p.m. prior to the address. The State of the State address was originally scheduled for January 18th, but was postponed due to the governor not feeling well. This will be Carney's final State of the State as he completes his last year as governor. A new governor will be elected in November and sworn in next year. And the Food Bank of Delaware is looking for additional volunteers to pitch in at their new location in Milford. The food bank moved into a new building last month, allowing them to establish new and expanded programs to help alleviate food insecurity in the community. Since opening, the food bank has assisted more than 14,000 households in the new Healthy Pantry Center and distributed nearly 710,000 meals through their new warehouse. The food bank has scheduled an open house on Tuesday, March 5th to educate the community about a 3.5-acre garden and provide more information on volunteer opportunities. And as work continues on a new beach patrol headquarters and comfort station on Rehoboth Beach, city officials have announced temporary parking restrictions near the site. A crane is expected to be placed at the construction site beginning tomorrow, Thursday. City officials said the parking restrictions are necessary because of the size of the equipment. Restrictions can be expected from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 3 spots. They are at the corner of Rehoboth Avenue and First Street from Rehoboth to Baltimore, and at either end of the first block of Baltimore Avenue. Portions of the boardwalk will be closed during construction, but pedestrians will still have walking access to the narrowed boardwalk. Once completed, the 2-story headquarters will feature a state-of-the-art patrol facility that gives lifeguards improved sight lines along the beach and a gateway between the boardwalk and Baltimore Avenue. Construction is slated to be completed in May of 2025. And it's a swan song for the number 2 pencil. The SAT, the intimidating exam that serves as a rite of passage into college, will go all digital on March 9th. Test organizers say moving the test online is the biggest challenge to hit the exam in 100 years. The new test will be taken exclusively on a laptop or tablet and will be taken through the College Board's Blue Book app. Moving the test online keeps the exam up to date with the times and allows for accommodations to support students at all levels. That's according to test organizers. Students will take reading and writing portion first at an average level with a mix of easy, medium, and difficult questions. Depending on how well they do, the second portion will be adjusted by the computer according to their level. The math portion of the test will now have calculator access. School officials around the country say students are so equipped and they are ready for the electronic world that the new format should be a smooth transition for them. The new online test is 1 hour shorter than the 3-hour paper and pencil exam. With the changes, students are expected to get results even faster in a matter of days than weeks. And the American dream of homeownership may open up to many who didn't think it was possible at a Spring into Homeownership event here in Wilmington on Saturday. First-time home buyers are invited to attend the event from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Lewis L. Redding City County Building. That's at 800 North French Street here in the Wilmington. The free event will feature tables with information on the steps to purchase, along with breakout Q&A sessions with mortgage lenders and housing counselors. One lucky family can win $5,000 in a raffle toward a new abode. Participants will also be invited to take a bus tour of a newly constructed affordable housing on the city's east side. And now there are 4. After a comprehensive worldwide search for a new music director, the Delaware Symphony Orchestra, or the DSO, has announced the final 4 candidates in consideration for the search. The search began last summer for a call with applicants. Frank Close, president of the DSO, said that he was astonished and impressed to receive more than 150 applications from around the globe. A 13-member search committee reviewed applications and conducted interviews through the fall of 2023 to narrow the search to the 4. All 4 finalists will appear with DSO during the 2024-2025 season, and feedback will be gathered. The appointment is expected to no earlier than spring of 2025. For more information on the individual finalists and the upcoming season, you can visit DelawareSymphony.org. And that's going to do it for tonight's edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us across your favorite social media platform, and for news anytime, head to our website. That's detvch.com. With tonight's news, I'm Matt Ford. I'll be back here tomorrow night with Shakira. We'll see you then.